Lately in social studies, we've been working on arts, architecture, and public works of the ancient Mesopotamian people. In this assignment, you're going to create a booklet that describes either the art, architecture, or the public works that we've learned about from ancient Mesopotamia. The standard here, we're going to be looking at themes in history. Your first job in the directions is to choose a theme, so you have to pick either arts, architecture, or public works to be your focus. Your second job is going to be to choose two topics or subtopics from the theme. So if I picked arts, I have to pick two of these in the arts box. If I picked architecture, I have to pick two of these 4 items. And if I pick public works, I have to pick two of these 4 items. Once I've done my selections, so I know which category I'm in, I know which topics I'm going to use, I am going to work on the Mesopotamia booklet with that information. So what I would do is in Kami or on paper, I'm going to put my theme, so did I pick arts, architecture, or public works in this box, a picture to go with it. You don't have to do that first. It might actually be beneficial to go ahead and put your 2 topics that you picked and their descriptions. So if I picked pottery, I'm going to write a couple of sentences to describe what was the pottery like in Mesopotamia. And maybe for my second one, I picked jewelry, and I tell something I've learned about their jewelry in 2 or 3 sentences. And then I can go back here and maybe I put a picture or pictures of pottery or jewelry. The other side here is for your big question and an answer to the big question. You can find your big question in this section. So if I picked arts, my big question is listed under it. This is the question. And then I have to answer that question on my own. So I'll write my question here, answer it below. If I pick architecture or if I pick public works, these are the big questions, and then I'll answer it below. I suggest using your notes and looking at your notes first and saying, all right, what did I take the most notes about the other day when I had a chance to research arts, architecture, and public works? Are most of my notes already about the arts? Are most of my notes already about public works? And then go with the one that you have the most notes on. Back on this first page, the spot that says name is just for your name. And then you're going to list your sources here. You should have at least 2. Some of you will have more than 2 sources. You can list them out here. All of the books that you've used, books in the classroom, books on Epic, books including the social studies book, or if you used something like an ancient Mesopotamia website, you can list that website here. You might have also used the page called Task and Fate Facts that were about arts, architecture, and public works, and you would list that as one of your sources as well. In the scoring guide, after I've gotten all of these pieces done, the scoring guide is on the second page. I'm going to look, did you give information about first topic, your second topic? Did you answer the big question? You have to write out your big question and answer it. Include a picture that represents the theme. So your picture here should be accurate based on what did the Mesopotamian people have. Okay, so if you're going to pick something like roads as one of your public works and you draw one of the roads, okay, it should look like Mesopotamian roads and not a modern day highway with an 18-wheeler going across. Okay, so the roads have to represent what it was back then. Same thing if you have arts or architecture, it should represent the ancient Mesopotamians. Cite multiple sources of information, and please use correct spelling, capitalization, and punctuation as you are working on your project. If you have questions, feel free to ask. I'll be around to help as you work on this project.